Hello, everyone. It's Tom, and we are going into our Phoenix Spotlight here at FANzine Live. Um, in our last Phoenix Spotlight, we went and focused on the Patriot, the Heroes Now Patriot story, which was my first script that I did upon returning to small press and self-published comics. I quickly realized, though, that as awesome as Tony Lorenz is as an artist, the man is not capable of putting out 32, 36, how many pages of full-size comic content within a week. And it kind of was something that I had to sit back and think about and realize that I needed, if I wanted to contribute to the creative world of comics, that I had to come up with a different model to share my creativity. So what I ended up doing was, while Tony was hard at work on Patriot, I went to work on a second story, and that being a revival of the 80s Heroes Past storyline of Hologram. Let me pull out Hologram here. It was in Heroes Past, and you can see it was from the Kablam, from Tim Corrigan's C&T Graphics, New Voice Comics. Scott McClung penciled it, inked and lettered by Tim. And you can see the story. He gets zapped by a machine that he's working on. He finds out that he's kind of a bit of a ghost of sorts. And he has some powers. He goes home, discovers that his stereo is getting lifted by some thieves, some burglars, beats them up, scares them off, finds his wife Maggie, who then discovers that he too is a ghost. And then they start trying to figure life out, and it goes to be continued. Little did we know that to be continued was going to be over 30 years later. But anyway, so that's the beginning. Hologram was an interesting challenge. I wanted to do an 8-page mini comic. I didn't have a good way of doing it. My InDesign skills and lettering skills were so far off that I couldn't work individual panels on pages. I couldn't do word balloons at the time. And so I had to come up with something that I could do. And what I ended up doing was coming up on this idea of a diary made out of splash pages. So I scripted the entire shooting match, and pulling from the Hologram Book 1, which is a collection of the first 6 issues, you can see that on a spreadsheet, I laid out every single page. So that's every single thing that happens, done by the different issues, the number of days ago, going back to day 0, which would be present day. So it says, I laid out the entire 12-issue arc on a spreadsheet to ensure I was creating a timeline where every day presented had meaning, be it character development or plot. So you can see that's kind of how I did it. Before anything was drawn, before anything was scripted, I had this entire roadmap set out. So this is the beginning. It's chapter 1. It's called Overture. I wanted to do an overture because I looked at this 12-issue arc as being a little disjointed, a little bit almost abstract. And I thought if I jumped right in, it might come across as being less interesting than I know it was going to be. So I wanted to come up with a way to issue some previews, and I used the term overture very carefully. Anybody who's watched musicals, probably, especially like the old Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, has sat down, and as the lights go down, the orchestra begins what they call the overture. And it's usually a selection of the songs that they have during the show. And so you get, it's a nice little medley, if you will, kind of to preview some of the some of the tunes you're going to hear, give you an idea of some of the things you're going to be experiencing. And I thought, let's apply that to comics. And so the Overture. I wanted to start with a picture, and I worked with William Caddell on this, talented artist. Really glad to be working with him. Wanted to come up with something striking, something that looks like a piece that you would want to turn the page to. But I also wanted, so you can see we had him being this ghost type figure going through a wall. But the hand was very, very important. Reaching out, asking for help. I thought that would be really striking as well. So we start at the beginning, 12,236 days ago. Now notice everything here is captions or caption type boxes. That's all I could do with InDesign at the time. It's been a while since I've started with this, but I couldn't figure out how to do anything else. So you go with what you know, and I was able to create a story out of it. Actually turned out kind of interesting. A device explodes, I become transparent. So this is the recreation of the story from Heroes Past. But then I jump ahead almost a year, looks like about 9 months or so. And he's writing a tardigrade to the amazement of Mike and Isaac. Who are Mike and Isaac? We shall find out. Why is he writing a tardigrade? Tardigrades are some of the smallest living creatures known to humanity. How did he get that small? Again, we're now starting to seed the interest of the reader. February 16th, 1989. Notice, I'm not going linear. We've gone from March 89 back to February of 89. I pause while traveling through a wall and witness something no human eyes have observed. What is it? We don't know, but it does build up some interest. December 13th, 1988. We've gone back again. Having stopped a purse snatching at the Moormart, I fade away before anyone sees me. So there he is. Purse snatcher got his hiney zapped by Hologram. But you notice somebody's got a cell phone and took a picture of him. Welcome to the digital age, my friend. June 30th of 89, jumping ahead. I pass by Maggie's office, but I cannot bring myself to go in. You can see that there's something going on. He's reticent about talking to her or confronting her. You also learn that Maggie is a medical doctor. She's a medical director at Meadow Acres Retirement Home. So we've established her character. We've also established that they were at one time, that they were married. I should not say at one time because they are married. Now, jumping ahead to 1990, I am unconscious in the void of space. Totally unrelated to anything that you've seen so far. Somehow he got into space. And then lastly, December 31st, 2021. It is today. I am free. That is a huge jump going from 1988 to 2021. What has happened during that time? And that's the fun of Hologram. And we're going to get through the first, I think it ends up being about 3 or 4 years of Hologram's life in this first 12-issue arc. But that's the beginning. You can get a copy of Hologram. I put all of these out on my website for free for PDF download. If you catch me at a zine fest, I've got these available. Sometimes I throw them in as freebies. Again, a single piece of paper cut in half, stapled a couple times. It's just a fun little thing, and it's a nice introduction to some of the writing that I've done. But I'll have the information on this in the description for the video. But yeah, that's Hologram. A very fun and hopefully intriguing start. Hope you have a great day. We'll see you at the next video.